So, hi all, welcome back to Build with Vishwa. So, today we are going to kick a brand new series on AI. So, this is the episode one of many. So AI is huge. So, under it, we got ML, machine learning, and we got deep learning, and we got generative AI. But for this series, we are focusing purely on generative AI, since that's where the tools like ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini lives. So we'll circle back to ML and deep learning in the future series. But for now, let's get started. Okay, so in this series, we are going to understand about how large language model works. And then we are going to see about effective prompting techniques, how we can prompt and prompt patterns and templates. Then we are going to see about creating skills and using it with agents. And then we are going to see about RAG and MCP, so how we can able to integrate with external tools. Then we are going to end up with the agentic AI. So what are all different types of agents and agentic patterns? So that's what the plan for this series. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, these days almost everyone uses ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, and for everyday tasks. It feels like there is an smart person on the other end answering to your questions. But the truth is, it's not a person. So it's a large language model that's generating all the responses that you're getting. Okay, let's understand. So the series will have some theory as well. So we'll start with some theory, and then we will progress more on hands-on, which you can follow up as well. Okay, so let's understand what is this large language model. Okay, so the large stands for because these models are trained on massive amount of data with the billions of parameters. So the parameters are like tiny knobs where we can able to tune it or train it during the training period to get a better prediction, means to get a better answer in simple. So that's what the large means. The language means these models are trained on books, code, conversation, and huge chunks of data from internet. Almost entire internet is scanned. So that's what this mentioned as language. And model stand for model is a system trained to spot a pattern in the data. Basically, it's a function that gets an input and generates some more output. So here it's getting an your prompt and responding, answering to your question. So that's what the model stands for. So this is what a large language model. So ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, and Llama are most common and well-known large language models available there. So drop in comment which one of the model that you like, whether it's ChatGPT, Claude, or Gemini or Llama. So my favorite is always Claude. See how this. Okay, let's see the how these models works. Okay, so please open WhatsApp or any other chatting app on your mobile and type I'm going to the store to buy. That's it. Just stop it there. And once you type this one, just select any of the word recommended by your keyboard. If you're using Android system, you can see that it will recommend the few words to be chosen. Just select any of the word that you feel like it better suits for a sentence, and choose the next sentence, next word. It will keep on suggesting next words. Just choose 5 to 6 words. Okay. So you will end up in a pretty random and sometimes funny sentence. So this is how a tiny glimpse of how the LLM works. So it predicts what comes next, one piece at a time. So there is a difference between your keyboard and the actual LLM. So LLM, your keyboard will look into the last few words only. It doesn't look all the sentence. So but your large language model will look into all the generated words. Suppose it's going to generate next word after milk, it will go and see all the previous words. But your keyboard only sees milk and some only. So this is how the high level view of how this models works. Okay, so basically we have few ways to access these models. So there is a based on the hosting. So we have cloud models and we have local models. So you can able to access the cloud models using either you can go to ChatGPT. So they will have a chat window. You can access it directly through that. or you can able to access an model using an API key. So if you want to create an LLM application for your own, you can able to access the model using API keys. I will show you at the end of this session. We'll have a code demo, so to connect how we can able to connect with the model programmatically. Okay, so if you're connecting with your model programmatically, your system is sending an API request to the cloud server, and you are getting back a response with the data. Basically, you're sending the prompt to the model in the cloud, and it's streaming back the response to you. Okay, before going to connect with an LLM and getting responses, you have to know few things first. Okay, the first thing is the token. So token is a subunit of word. It's how the model actually sees the language. It doesn't see the actual full word. So suppose unbelievable is the model understand it as unbelievable. So that's how the model sees these words. It doesn't read like a human. So this is the first term you have to be aware of. And the second thing is the context window. So context window is the maximum amount of text and model can able to hold it in the mind at once. Suppose, okay, so we have TTFT, so time for the first token. So it's the actual time taken by the model to respond you with the first token. So it's not the end time. So it's the first token that you have started seeing it. So that's the time between your prompt and your seeing the first response, first token from the model. So this is the time for first token. And there is something called mean response time. So this is a time people used to calculate. So this is the average time that a model take to respond to all the queries. Suppose you are keep on asking prompts, and what is the average time for a model to respond to you. So next thing is the temperature. So this is the model's creativity dial. So this is a value that we will send it to a model. This value tells whether the model to act creative or deterministic. Okay, so sometimes we want a model to be very creative when we are doing creative jobs. Sometimes the model need to be very deterministic. So you need to adjust this value. I will show you how we can pass this value and how we can able to adjust this value in the later sessions. Yeah, rate limit and cost. So rate limit is a number of requests that we can send in a minute. So if you keep on sending multiple requests to in a minute, so suppose if 10 requests is the rate limit for an API endpoint, if you're sending more than 10, so you will get an 429 rate limit error. So this is also a common thing and thing to know in a large language model before sending a request to a large language model. So let's see some code to connect with an LLM model. Okay. So okay, if you're not aware of Python, that's fine. You can able to understand this code to high level. That's well and good. So yeah. Okay, I will explain this code in a simpler manner. So I have an animation to explain this code. So let's see first how this code works. Okay, let me run this code from here. So if I'm running this code and I'm connecting with the cloud model using an API key that's available with me, and I'm getting back the response from the model. So yeah, so this is a prompt. I'm saying that explain what is an API in one sentence, and I'm getting back a response. An application program interface is a set of defined rules, prototypes that enable different software systems, application and services. So I'm getting a response. Even if I want to change the prompt here, I'm going to say what is deep learning, and I can run it again. Yeah, so we got a huge response from the model actually. So yeah, this is a very simple code that within 5 to 6 lines of code you can able to connect with an LLM and get the response back. So let me explain the code and how it works. And before that, you can able to get your API key from this website. This is free, and per day you will get around 1000 API key, 1000 requests you can able to send. So you can able to go and check groq.com, and you can get your API key free here. Just go and create an API key and use that API key in the program. Okay. Okay, so this is the code that we are going to look today. So let me explain the code bit by bit. So it has actually three part of it. So it has actually three part. So the first thing is the import. So we are importing the required module. So since we are connecting with the Groq, we are using LangChain Groq to connect with the model. So second part is the actual connection part. So here we are setting everything here only. So what model and what is our API key, what's the temperature, and what is the maximum output token. So these things we are setting here. And the next thing is the response. So we are sending the prompt here, and we are getting back the response as well here only. So yeah. Okay, let's focus on the main part of it. So how we are sending a response to an LLM and we are getting back. So the first thing is the API key. So you have to copy paste the API key that you get from the groq.com here. And the second thing is the model that we're using. So groq.com has various models, but currently I'm using Llama 3.3 70 billion best style model. So and I'm setting the temperature as 0.7. So which is the production value. It's not that creative, and also it's not that deterministic. So if you want to make changes value, you can able to change it based on your needs. Suppose if you want it to be more creative, you can able to make it less, and if you want to more deterministic, you can make it high as well. So the maximum token limit also you can able to set. So currently it's 1024 tokens. Okay, so for a recap, so what we have seen today, we have learned what is a large language model, and we have learned how keyboard is autocomplete is very similar to the actual LLM models. So and you have seen that what is a cloud model and what is a local model. Okay, on the next video, so we will see how we can able to create an custom chatbot. So yeah, thank you for joining. Bye bye.